Hello everyone, welcome back to Math Specs. My name is Stephanie and today we're going to learn how to use addition and subtraction to solve equations. So the goal whenever we're using addition and subtraction is to move the variable to one side of the equation. So what we're basically going to end up with is something that looks like this: x plus and then whatever operations we have on the right hand side. So you want our variable to be alone. And we can think of this as balancing both sides of the equal sign, which we will see more once we start doing examples. But first, we're going to talk about inverse operations. And inverse operations are two operations that undo each other. And the key word here is undo. So what are some inverse operations that you can think of? Well, we discussed them when we learned about order of operations. So addition and subtraction undo each other. But what other two can you think of? How about multiplication and division? And these are operations that will undo each other, so they are inverse operations. So addition will undo subtraction, and subtraction will undo addition. Multiplication will undo division, and division will undo multiplication. So let's go ahead and do some examples where we use addition and subtraction as inverse operations. For our approach, what we're going to do to solve these problems is just write the original equation, identify the inverse operation that we need to use, and simplify. And remember, we're always trying to isolate the variable onto one side. So for this first example, we're going to solve x minus 2 is equal to -5. So here we have minus 2, or subtraction. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 to this side and add 2 to the other side, because remember, we're trying to balance this. Then this and this will cancel, and we can bring down our x, bring down our equal sign, and we can perform this operation. -5 plus 2 will give us -3. Okay, and this is our final answer. Let's go ahead and do another example. Here we have g minus -2 is equal to -8. So I need g by itself. So I'm going to actually take care of this right here. I have a minus and a -2. So what I can do is use my keep, add, opposite. And this is what we learned when we learned how to subtract integers. So I'm going to keep g the same. I'm going to add instead of subtract. And I'm going to add the opposite of this, which is +2. So we can just write 2. Maybe you've also seen this as some teachers may do this. They may tell you to connect them and just make it into a plus sign. That also works. So after we've taken care of this, I'll bring down my equal sign. I'll bring down my -8. Now I have g plus 2 is equal to -8. I have to get the g by itself, so I have to get rid of this +2, move it to the other side. So in order to undo addition, I have to subtract 2 from the left side, and I have to subtract 2 from the right side. These will cancel. I'll bring down my g, bring down my equal sign, and do this, and this will be -10. And of course, you can always go back to our addition of integers or subtraction of integers to learn why this would be -10. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue to our next example. Here we have a y minus 3 is equal to +6. So I want the y by itself. I have a -3 here. So instead of subtracting 3, I add 3 to both sides. This will cancel. I'll bring down my y. I'll bring down the equal sign, and I'll perform this operation. 6 plus 3 is going to give me 9. Okay. Now we want to know, after we've done all of our operations, whether we've added or subtracted to undo and to find an answer, how do we know if that answer is correct? Well, we can check our solution, and to do that, we would simply substitute our final value into the original equation. So if we had something like y is equal to 2 as an answer, we would put that into our original equation. So if we had something like this, we would substitute our value into the original equation and see if this would be a true statement. Okay, so let's go ahead and do an example where we have to check our answer. So here we have x plus 2 is equal to -8, and we're going to solve for x. So I have a positive 2 here. I'm adding 2. So in order to undo this, I have to subtract 2. So I'm going to do that to both sides. And this will cancel here. I'll bring down my x. I'll bring down my equal sign. And this will actually give me -10. So I have this value here that x is equal to -10. But how do I know if this is correct? So I'm actually going to check it. So here on the right-hand side, I'm going to write my original equation. And I'm going to plug in x is equal to -10 into this equation. So wherever I see -10, wherever I see x, I write -10. So then I bring down my 2. And I'm checking if this side is equal to this side. Okay, so here I have -10 plus 2. This is going to give me -8. And is -8 equal to -8? Yes, it is. So this is true. So x is equal to -10 is a solution for x plus 2 is equal to -8. So you can actually write that. You can write x is equal to -10 is a solution for x plus 2 is equal to -8. Okay. So today we've learned how to solve equations using addition and subtraction. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and we'll see each other in the next video.